No one can care more about yourself than yourself. I wish that I would have taken better control of my health earlier, or at least asked more questions. My teenage years were a mix of like a lot of love and a lot of fun, a lot of sports, and dealing with some of my dad's health issues. You know, my dad ended up going on dialysis pretty young, at 43. Then he passed away at 52, even after a transplant. And that's always been sitting in my brain. I was dealing with some feelings of anxiety. Gout came out of nowhere, a shift in your blood pressure all of a sudden, but I was kind of putting those on the back burner. One day, I was starting to get irritated, agitated for no reason, and I just said, let me check my blood pressure, because something's not right. And I did, and it was really high. And so I went to my primary. That was the first time anyone ever suggested that I go see a nephrologist, because he did a urine sample, and he said, your uric acid is high, but you're spilling some protein, so we need you to see a nephrologist. When I got diagnosed and then found out it was IgAN, it was kind of the beginning of some really complex times for me. My nephrologist says, well, it could be 5 to 10 years before you have to deal with it. It quickly became like 3 to 5 years, which was devastating. And then it became 1 to 2 years, and then it became 6 months. Once I hit the wall and then I knew I couldn't do much, I talked to my nephrologist and said, I think we need to go on dialysis. I was super nervous, but having my family kind of remind me, they're like, you're not your father, it's not the same thing. It's still challenging. I mean, you're still kind of facing your own mortality at that point. You're at the end stage, and even though there's hope there, it's still tough. Somehow, as I've always done, is just kind of dug deep and said, okay, how are we going to get through this? And let's get to work and let's figure it out. And that's what I did. When we got the call for the kidney, it was like the whole world changed. This new hope again of not being, 80%, but like potentially being back to 100% again. I'm here to help others that don't fumble through the steps I had to go through. And I found NephCure, and NephCure had this really great tool of finding clinical trials, because that was really hard for me to find. And when you meet a community like that, they can help boost you up because they know what you're going through. My hope is that as somebody's kind of going through the same experience, they hear something that resonates with them, and if it helps them think differently about their own care and can make a change, then it's worth it to me.